Is this the Rolls Royce of cases? Stay tuned and find out. Hey guys, Tim here with the long-awaited review of the CaseLabs Mercury S5 m-atx case. This little beauty, or not so little beauty, is a great little case. The options I went for for this review were double side windows and a 360 rad up front. I have the full plates and, as you'll see later, the 240 rad for the front. But let's go ahead and get the side panels off of this guy and get this review going. Okay, now that we have the outside panels off, you can see we have an easily removable front I/O. Right now the USB 3 is in there. Front bays that are customizable. So the solid bays are in here right now, but they come in open or solid, and you can have 1, 2s, or 3s, or you can go up to something like we're going to use in this case, which is 2 120s. So you put your fans in here, and then you can mount your radiator to the back. But keep in mind, guys, none of the stuff on this case comes pre-filtered. They leave that up to you to decide what kind of dust filtering you want to do on the case. And that's kind of the point of this case, is the ability to customize and get what you want. So on the top, we have the 360 drop-in this configuration. So you can mount your radiator fans to this and just drop it right on in and screw it in. Removable motherboard tray. PSU area with your bottom vent. Again, no dust filter here included. This access panel is for if you put the pedestal on the case, then that's how you get access to the bottom pedestal. And these mounts are, right now, the feet are mounted in here, but that's how you also connect the pedestal to the case. Around the back, we have your rear exhaust with some extra exhaust, your plugs for external water cooling if you want to do that, some exhaust for the bottom side compartment, which we'll get to in a minute, your PSU cutout and your back I/O cutout. And the nice thing here, guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not a big deal unless you try to put 2 video cards, 2 dual slot video cards. That 5th slot comes in very handy. Okay, so on the side, we have access down through the side panel to the hard drive compartment for your SATA cables, and a cutout down below for the power cables. On the left, 3.5 hard drives. On the right, 2.5 hard drives. The 3.5s, you put rubber grommets on, just slip them in, they lock into place. The downside here is the 2.5 configuration. You actually have to remove this whole caddy to be able to screw them in, put them in and out. And unfortunately, instead of screws, they're actually nutted on. So you are going to have to break out the ratchet or whatever to get those off there. Maybe a needle nose pliers. So what are the pros and cons of this CaseLabs case? The first thing has to be, the pro has to be configuration, customization. You can do anything you want with this case from the factory. You can order different panels if you want to do different things. You can, if you don't want to water cool this case, you want to air cool it, you can not do the drop-in top. You can do different front panels, different side panels. The list goes on and on. The second pro has to be build quality. This is by far the best build quality I've seen in a case. You guys know I've reviewed a lot of cases, and this is the Cadillac, the Rolls Royce, the Bentley of cases. The powder coat is perfect everywhere. The attention to detail is really astute. Everything just looks nice. it's easy to work with. Everything's assembled with screws, so if you want to take it apart, and you can actually buy this without a powder coat if you wanted to custom paint it yourself. And that kind of configuration and just quality is the trademark of CaseLabs, in my opinion. Finally, the room inside of this thing for it is kind of one of these box configs, right? The motherboard lays flat on its side instead of standing up. It does take up a little more table space, but it is also shorter than most m-atx cases. And it's just really roomy. There's lots of room to work in there, and it's really easy to move things around if you need to. It's also very nice that it has that fifth PCIe opening on the back. I mean, that's a really big deal, guys. If you've ever tried to put an SLI config on an m-atx board, that really does matter. So that brings us on to the cons. And the first con has to be cost. This is a premium product and you are paying for it. Now, I feel like the value is there. So you're getting what you're paying for. However, this is a case that's 3 times more expensive than, say, the Fractal Design Arc Mini. If you're careful, this case might last you until they don't make m-atx boards anymore. So you have to look at it that way. It is an investment, but if you change your configuration often, if you're going to do water cooling, I feel like the value is there, but still cost is a premium, and that, in my opinion, is a con. The second thing is obviously the 2.5-inch hard drive configuration is an oversight, I think. That tray really needs to be easily removable. Same with the 3.5. You don't necessarily need to remove the 3.5 to get the drives in there, but it'd be really nice if that tray was easily removable. And when you're talking about a feature that $50 cases have these days, I really feel like that's an oversight. And the third con is no fan filters. So you can buy your own, but in this case, you have to attach the fan filters to the fans themselves, and that makes it much harder to clean the filters and keep it cleaned out. And in a case that's this nice, that the powder coating is, this perfect. I mean, I can't find an issue on this case with the powder coating. It's really, I think, an oversight that there aren't fan filters, or even if they didn't want to supply fan filters, that they weren't better thought through to allow easier access to, add and remove fan filters. This is another one of those. There's $50 cases that have easily removable fine mesh filters, and I really feel like that's another oversight in this case. So in conclusion, would I recommend this case? I think absolutely. It's good. Very good build quality. It is not the cheapest case in the world, but I think, for the price you're paying, you're definitely getting your money's worth. If you can get by the fan filters and the hard drive configuration, this is probably the only m-atx case you'll ever need. This is Tim for Timmy Tech TV. We'll see you guys next time.